Welcome back. All right, so I will admit to listening to Shipping Up to Boston twice when this game was done. I've seen complaints about them being number one in the power rankings because they're barely winning these games. They're only scoring a couple goals a game. And, whatever. But they haven't been playing with their full roster. There are injuries, there are key guys who've been out. I get the feeling that some of these ones, they're like, they're just a little banged up. I think it's probably more than that. So out of the lineup today, Bergeron and Krejci, so there's your top two centers. McAvoy, Orlov, that is two of your top two defensemen, and Hall, one of your top four wingers. So they had called up five guys from Providence on an emergency basis for today. It was Swayman versus Sandstrom in this one. Pasternak has a net drive that's saved, and then on a one-timer from the slot at 47 seconds, Coyle scores from Carrick and Marchand. So Boston with an early lead. It does not last. At 1:04, Allison answers, buries a loose puck there, so it's a 1-1 tie. Things get pushy on a hold by Swayman. Frederick fires one wide on a turnover. Pasternak has a rush chance that's saved. The rebound's cleared. The Flyers press 3 minutes in. Marchand has a wraparound chance that's blocked. The Flyers rush. The shots on net are actually 7-6 for the Flyers, 7.5 minutes in. Then we get a post for Pasternak, who could have had 10 today. Ristolainen with a rush chance, that's held, and we get some pushing after that. Greer was denied on a 3-on-2. There's a crossbar for Pasternak, so there's two posts for him. Crossbar then for Van Riemsdyk at the other end, so posts were the name of the game today. The team's trade rush is late. Coyle's denied in the final minute, but it's 1-1 after one. And one question mark when it came to Philly was, so interesting decision by John Tortorella today. And I don't know that I've seen this before where he had 13 forwards and 5 defensemen in the lineup. We've seen 11 and 7 plenty. 13 and 5 is different. So it's tied going into the second period. Carlo takes a high stick. He exits for repairs. There's no call there. He would return to the game. Pasternak then scores at 2:04. That one goes through Sandstrom from the high slot. Clifton and Zboril with the assists on that one. Shots are 2-0 Boston, 3.5 minutes in. The Bruins score. It's waved off for goalie interference. The Bruins challenge it. Now, what's funny is it was a clear goalie interference, but as the announcer said, Boston with the best penalty killing in the National Hockey League, Philadelphia with the worst power play in the National Hockey League, they're not scared of having to kill a penalty, and rightfully so. So it's a Flyers power play because, it was no goal. York has a point shot that's held as it ends. That's about the best chance they had. Hathaway takes a puck in the back of the head. He exits. He would return. And then Pasternak scores his second. It's a one-timer. It's a great pass by Bertuzzi, who's picking up some really good chemistry with Pasternak at this point, so that's great. Zaka with the other assist. That's at 7:31. And that is goal number 59 on the season and goal number 299 in the career of David Pasternak. Provorov fires one high from the slot. The Bruins clear it out. The shots on net are 4-3 Boston at the half, but 2 of those 4 shots have gone in. Flyers go back to the power play. That's killed off. And then on a rush chance, Farabee makes it a 1-goal game from Tippett at 13:58. He buries that one top shelf on the rush. Frost then has a net drive that's saved and held. Bruins press with 4.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Sandstrom, and then we get some punching going on as well. Now, Bertuzzi came in and got the punching involved, so the Flyers get their third power play. Cates has a net drive that's defended. Coyle and Cates get tangled up. Frost is denied. They cycle. Things get pushy on a hold by Swayman, and then coming out of that, it's 39 seconds of 4-on-4. So Philadelphia takes penalty. DeBrusk's denied in close as the 4-on-4 becomes a Bruins power play. Pasternak has a blast that's held. Everything's killed off there. Lawton's robbed on a fast break. The Bruins press to close it. So it's 3-2 Boston after 2. We know they have an excellent record when they're leading after 2. Third period, 39 seconds in. Pasternak scores from Bertuzzi and Lindholm. So again, Bertuzzi with an assist there, and really good game for him, and that makes it 4-2. That is the 60th goal of the season for Pasternak. He joins Phil Esposito as the only Boston Bruins to score 60 in a season. That is also the 300th of his career. He is the 8th player in NHL history to get his 300th goal on a hat trick. Lots of hats on that ice in Philly. Lots of Bruins fans there today. Totally understandable. Philly fans are kind of checked out at this point, I would think. I do wonder what they think about D'Angelo being scratched. I guess this is his third game in a row where he was scratched. When you're playing with 13 forwards, 5 defensemen, and you have a guy you're paying pretty well to sit in the press box and watch, it sends a message. So that was the first. This is the first season in the NHL where we've had multiple 60 goal scorers since 95-96. 95-96 will be the reference point a lot because that was the last season we saw really heavy goal scoring, and then the defense started taking over the year after. Provorov was down. He hurt his arm, and it looked like his elbow kind of buckled along the boards. It looked bad, but he would come back. Delay a game then, so there's a power play for the Flyers. During that power play, Provorov would return. Farabee with a one-timer, that's caught and held. That power play's killed off. Then we get a fight between Greer and Delorier. Delorier kind of tooled him there. Lettieri then has a shot that's held as the Bruins press. And at 9:06, Tippett. It's a face-off win. It's a rush the other way. Tippett finishes it from Farabee and Cates. Makes it a one-goal game. The Bruins, though, would look to answer. Provorov then takes a puck to the face. He stays on. But, yeah, for Provorov, kind of a puck magnet at this point, and just for getting hurt and whatnot. Zacha can't bury one from the slot. Pastrnak has a wraparound that's held. Lemieux then takes the stick to the face from Grzelcyk because Lemieux trips Grzelcyk in the corner, so Grzelcyk's stick flies back and catches him. There's no penalty on the play. Lemieux loses at least one tooth, which is, a rite of passage as a hockey player. The ref you suck chant gets started, and I'm thinking, but Lemieux was just as guilty of a trip as there was a high stick, so I'm not sure what they're trying to call that for, other than their player is clearly bleeding and they want to see a call in the play, right? So things get pushed in a hole by Swayman. These teams not liking each other. There was a loud "Let's go Bruins" chant going on. There was some booing. I think there was a "We want the cup" chant as well. I'm telling you got to temper that. We're not even in the playoffs yet. I understand the excitement. I get it, but you got to temper that a little bit. Boston would then add one. It was a tic-tac-toe goal. It was Zacha from Pastrnak and Bertuzzi at 16:56. Pastrnak just couldn't settle that puck down. I don't think he expected it there, so instead he passes it to Zacha, and Zacha buries it. So Bertuzzi with another point. Goalie pull happens with 2:50 left, and Swayman tried the empty netter. He tried, and he wanted it. Maybe it'll happen in the playoffs, but Swayman wants an empty net goal. He's seen Ullmark get one. He thinks that looks like fun. He wants one himself. 34.4 seconds left. The Bruins with an icing. The Flyers call a timeout. Whatever they discussed, it does not work. Your final score is 5-3. The Boston Bruins, with this winner, now 63-12-5. So again, as I've been saying, I'm just enjoying this regular season. I do not expect this to carry over into the postseason. I would not be surprised if they get knocked out in, say, a round 2 situation, maybe even a round 1 if they match up with the right team. I am enjoying the regular season for what it is right now. Philadelphia drops to 29-38-13 with the loss. Shots on net are 13-10 Boston in the first, 14-11 Philly in the second, and 13-10 Philly in the third. Final shots 37-34 for the Flyers. Power plays, Boston 0 for 1, Philadelphia 0 for 4. So that penalty kill for Boston, they've killed, 39 in a row now? It's something ridiculous. The hits, 25-20 Boston. Swayman saves 34 out of 37. He was very good. And Sandstrom saves 29 out of 34. So considering how undermanned Boston was, pretty impressive win, to be honest. This was a good one. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. The growth on this channel over the last 48 hours has been huge. So thank you guys so much for each and every one of you that have helped to encourage that growth. However you've done that, it's been noticed, and thank you. I will talk to you again soon.